Welcome to the Doc of Detox show, everyone. I'm your host, Dr. Darrell Wolfe, and this is Braveheart Nation. Together, today, we are going to transform your life and expand your mind so that you and your family can uncover and discover the unseen healer from within. Understand, you are not your mind, you are not your thoughts, and you are not the story that you tell yourself each and every day, day in and day out. Until you have truly taken the time to think about what you think about, you will be everywhere else and everyone else because you are not in your point of power. And that point of power is called the present moment. How you think, act, and feel is shaping your life at this very moment. Let's rise together to greatness. Do you truly understand that your thoughts are not yours? Do you truly understand that the story that you're telling yourself is someone else's? Do you also understand that your mind is not yours until you have handpicked, created, and dipped every prominent thought in love that lives in that beautiful mind of yours? Never forget that your mind makes a terrible master, but an amazing servant. So wake up, show up, and let's grow up. And let's become a Braveheart Nation. Let's start living to our fullest potential every day. And remember, your potential is unlimited. So, are you ready to take your health and healing to the highest level? Because when you do, when you finally embrace this sacred truth of why you are truly here, you will uncover and discover the true you, the authentic you, and you shall be healed. Until then, you will be everywhere else, being everyone else. I'm so glad that you could join us today and understand something. Do you know how difficult it is for people just to come on a show that's got to do with unconditional love, self-love, all that gobbledygook? And guess what? Don't you just feel like sometimes even coming on this show, maybe you're breaking some kind of sin or that you feel guilty? Because you know what? I can remember when I was a child that if I even took a look in the mirror when I was a teenager to see if my hair was good or that one pimple was just sticking out too much, that, you know what? I felt a little bit conceited. Or my father, if he caught me, okay, all right, if he caught me looking in the mirror on the way out, well, there was all hell to pay. Because who am I to love me? I should be so lucky that he loves me. Now, understand that my parents loved me the best that they could. But you know what? They could only love me the best that they could, and that was the way that their parents loved them. And that was the way that their parents loved them. Well, guess what? I didn't just decide to end the family curse. I decided to eliminate it completely. And you know what? There's going to be struggle when you try to eliminate the family curse, when you unconditionally love yourself totally, because your family's going to come up against you.
Oh, yes.
Right, Susan?
Oh, yes, they will.
This is Suzanne, okay, Suzanne Gray, and she is a practitioner from Florida. She's also a master trainer, okay, which means that she's taken my full courses like my whole life coach, my Wolfe Deep Tissue, and my non-surgical 3 times. And she's a master trainer. And understand something. What we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about the family curse, aren't we?
Oh, yes.
And we're going to talk about how you can't find love in a book. And you also, you can try to think positive and you can try to act positive. But good luck with that, because it doesn't work. All right?
Well, we think about these things and we're thinking about it in our head. We're not in our heart. And I see that a lot, how I ran my life and also with my clients coming in. Well, I've been doing these affirmations, they're working great and everything. I said, really? But, this keeps happening to me, that the situation comes up with my family and I just respond and I snap at them. And I said, well, where are you coming from? It's the head, it's the subconscious. And we live in that subconscious 90%. We have to come into our heart. That's where the light is of all the great masters. That's where our love is.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm a great master. You're a great master. Let's not get carried away with this great master thing, because I'll tell you something. The only reason why we call these guys or these women great masters is because they learned about unconditional love and about loving and not having to forgive. You know, I don't want to be in a position that I need to forgive anyone. Now, does that mean that I'm going to allow them to keep on doing the same thing to me? No. Am I going to love everybody on this planet? Yes. But am I going to like them all? No, there's no way I'm going to like them all. I mean, there's the psycho elite, that they're not just not nice. They're actually bloody well evil. But so the reality is that the reason why you love yourself unconditionally and you love the world unconditionally is because it's never going to change. The only person that's going to change, or the only thing that's really truly going to change, is yourself.
Well, right. And we can't change others. We cannot change our family. I came back and my kids thought I was in a cult. And I just pulled back. I observed, because I was very judgmental most of my life. And then coming to the classes, because I've taken many classes before, but this really gave me the tools, the life coaching. And it gave me the tools to pull back, come into myself, love myself unconditionally, forgive myself, protect, respect myself, so that I can live my life through my heart, and to look at people and observe. And not only that, but to observe myself. And when Darrell talks about putting that mini me on the shoulder, I learn a lot. I learned a lot about myself and how I want to change my life. And I learned that in the life coaching class. And then by taking the deep tissue and the non-surgical, because our issues are hidden in the tissues, things will come up and you release them.
Yeah, but the thing that we find the most is, and I understand that it'll be a small percentage of people that actually take my courses, because my courses go off course. My courses are not mainstream. Okay, you need to understand that. Like, there is no therapy. Like when people say, "Oh, you do a massage therapy," well, trust me, this is not massage therapy. Okay, this is way more in depth than that. This is dealing with the light being. This is dealing with, yes, it's dealing with scar tissue and inflammation and crystallization and calcium deposits, but it was all about the emotion that created all of this. Because if you really can embrace the idea that we're made out of particles and particles are 99% empty space, then you would actually understand that everything is based on light. And that's why the greatest healer on this planet is actually the sun. So if you really want to know who the greatest healer is, that's who the greatest healer is. And the reason why is because the sun infuses itself in our water, infuses itself in our food. It infuses itself through your eyes, which then, they say the speed of light, but your eye, the optical nerve is backwards. So it slows down light. And when it hits your eyes, it slows down. And then the actual light frequency, actually, believe it or not, when it comes into the body fluid, like the blood, it turns into sound. Frequency. So it turns into sound frequency. So you have to understand something. That's why our emotions are our greatest power. They are our superpower, and they create these different frequencies because you are the sun of your soul. Yeah. Okay? Or you are the darkness of your soul. So, there's no dark switch. What we do is we don't allow the light in on an emotional or a physical level. So, you want to eat foods that have lots of light in them. You want to hang around with people that are very light and fun to be with. Don't hang around with dark people. I don't care if they're your relatives. And if you're with somebody that's going to be dark and miserable for the rest of your life, and you've tried working on yourself and you just can't seem to get anywhere, then you need to leave that person behind, because they can be miserable without you or with you, and they will destroy you. They will destroy you. I don't care if it's your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, or Uncle Albert, okay? Because they will destroy you. And why? Not because they hate you, but because they are running hate programs for themselves. You can't give what you do not have. So I don't expect people to love me. I don't expect anything from people. I can get things like, I can get negative emotions coming from people, but then I need to distance myself so that vibration doesn't come onto me. So you can understand, I'm not going to judge that person and say they're an evil person, they're a bad person, or I hate that person, or I don't like, it's just not my vibration, because if my vibration level's up here and the person's vibration's down here, that means I've got to meet them halfway. Okay? Or I've got to come all the way down to communicate with them. And because if I stay up here, then chances are this person here is going to say what? He thinks he's better than me. Because he's not buying into my suffering. He's not buying into my pain. And so guess what? I'm the terrorist, because I am. I'm the terrorist for staying in that frequency, because I'm making that person feel bad, because now they think I think I'm better. But in actuality, I'm not. I don't think I'm better. I just search for better.
We all have our own belief systems, and we have to walk that journey for ourselves. I mean, I know right now, like my children, they don't believe the way that I believe, even though I've introduced it to them. But I'll honor them where they're at, let them do their path that they have to do. But this is my path.
Guess what? Guess what? You ready for this?
All right.
Those children honored you when you were dishonoring them before they even came out of your womb.
Yeah.
So guess what it is? It's payback time.
Yeah.
So
Boy.
there's the karma. If you're from the East, their karma would come in. Okay.
Right.
But actually, it's not karma. What it is that their mind can't change that much because their mother is so bloody stubborn. And look at how much work you've done.
Oh man.
Are you where you want to be? Do you fall back into some of the old patterns?
Sometimes I do, but I pick myself up and go forward. That's why I have that little mini person on me, and I take a look. But I'll tell you what, it's not as frequent. It's a lot less.
And that is the way of life. And that's why you got to let yourself off the hook. When you do the Braveheart online training, when you come on my show, when you do other things or read other books or do other things, don't kid yourself. It's with repetition 10,000 times. And understand something. It's not the law of attraction. That's a bunch of BS. Okay? Dysfunctional belief system. It's the law of attention. Where's your attention? If you paid attention all day to unconditional love, letting yourself off the hook, and observing your family instead of judging them, and you were doing it with passion and heart. I was talking to someone today, Suzanne, and they said to me, I don't know, Dr. Wolfe, why aren't they going to change? And I said, well, there's only very few things that make people change. People don't change because they have this enlightening moment. They change usually because they're dying of a disease, or someone is going to leave them. But even that doesn't work, because when you say this, you know what, Billy, if you don't change, I'm going to leave you. Meanwhile, she's the terrorist, or he's the terrorist if they said that to the other person, because the person can't change because they don't have the belief. So now the person's crapping their drawers, right? And they don't know how to do this thing. If you love someone, compassion is the key. And even if you don't love them, compassion is the key.
Well, I don't know. After taking the courses, really, I have so much gratitude. And I've always had that, but it's just so much, it's enormous now. The appreciation that I have for things and myself.
Well, let's put it this way. Come on, Suzanne.
Yeah.
So when you first came, okay, you want to talk about self-loathing, self-hating. And you know why she hated herself? Because people in her family died. Okay, she couldn't save them. Okay, because she couldn't take away the world's pain. Well, that's the sucker punch for women. Women are taught when they're just young children that you have to suffer more than your children and more than your husband, because that's your job. And then when you reach about 40 or 50, you're just this empty shell and you're miserable as crap because you don't even know who you are. And now you got to do this long journey, but you're so exhausted that you don't know if you can find that little girl anymore. Yeah,
but I found her. And
I know.
And we're having fun. And I really, I just have to say this. When I first met you, Darrell, at the convention, and that was one moment I'll never forget, because we just really communicated just telepathically. And when I was invited to come up and take his class, I was just in awe. Here we are sitting in this room with maybe 12 people? in the life coaching class. And I was amazed at how Darrell could just hone in on each individual. He knows how far he can take a person. He knows what's going on. He's been a medical intuitive since he was 19. And he's 62 right now, or maybe 63. We'll decide on that one. Anyhow.
I think I'm 63.
Are you? Okay, we'll let you be 63.
Okay. All right.
So it was just amazing to me how he could hone into people. And he knows who he can push to a certain point and who he can't. And I just feel very blessed that he really knew me. He sees me for who I am. I'm seeing me more of who I am. And I have to say that this is the first time in my life, and I'm 66 and a half and very proud of it. And I love myself more than I ever have in my life.
You know, one of the biggest blessings that you'll ever get is when you get to that point of no judgment.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's it right there. And I just want to thank all the religions out there for totally corrupting the minds of everybody, because that's really made my job very hard. That is one of the hardest things, is what religion has done today. And I'm not picking on anybody's religion, but I will tell you that, you know, let's not beat around the bush anymore. You know, religion has killed more people in the name of God than anybody else. And, you know, you just have to take a look at it. There's not a system on this planet that doesn't get corrupted, right. Okay? Like even your digestive system. But, you know, I want everybody to just take a look at the things in your life right now. And I want you to stop and say, no, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not going there anymore. I'm not going to that place anymore. I'm not having that person talk to me like that anymore. It's enough. It's enough. Anybody that's abusing you, or anything that's being shoved down your throat just because millions are doing it, come on. You know, the reality is that only 1 out of 10,000 people actually become a master. Well, how do you become a master? Well, you just fall in love with yourself and with life, and you understand that nothing changes except inside, not outside. So if you can look outside all you want. And from the very beginning, and even more so, I really feel for my children and everybody else's children, because it's all outside now.
That's social media, and they're groups that they have. And when my clients come and see me, and they look at me and say, well, you know, and I have some of them that have been with me for 20 years, and they'll just say, but you've changed so much. It's and I said, yeah. I said, you know, I'm doing this course. Been working with Dr. Darrell Wolfe. And you can have that same opportunity by doing his online course. And that I think is a real good lead into the life coaching course. Yeah. Is doing the Braveheart online.
Yeah, you can start with the Braveheart online course, and it's a 38-hour course, and you do it at your own leisure. And it's me on there, and you do quizzes. And then we have the Braveheart here where you can call in, and you can even call me at the office. If you've got something that you need to know today, you can just call me. I'm going to call you back. But yeah, do the Braveheart online first, and go to the Doc of Detox library. Check out some of the booklets and the audios. Yes. I've got one audio on there that's called "Cancer is an Emotion, Cancer is a Frequency," and it's actually a consultation I did with a lady who is suffering from cancer. And wait till you hear the actual conversation between the two of us. And but the big thing is here is I need to ask you a question. How much do you take personal in your life? And how much approval do you need? I actually take nothing personal anymore, okay? And I don't need anyone's approval. And the thing is I am the captain of my ship. And, you know, whether you want to believe this or not, if you think you're a feeble woman, okay, get over it. You're not, okay? And stop acting like it, and stop allowing other people to make you think you're a feeble woman, okay? And I'm just saying that because, you know, being a man, I see how men treat women, and it's not really a good thing that's going down here. Women are trying to save the planet. Men are trying to destroy it. And I'm not saying all of them. I'm just saying the majority of them, okay? Right. Yeah. But, yeah, start off with the Braveheart online training. I mean, it's $199, and you can bring on a Braveheart buddy. Mm-hmm. And start with that. But the thing is one of the biggest hurdles everybody gets to trying to get over is doing something for yourself. I mean,
Yes.
oh my God, I just, don't make me do something for myself. Don't make me do it. Or I don't have enough time, or I don't have enough money. All of that is not even true.
You make the time. When I listen to the Braveheart, and I listen to it all the time, I'm either on the treadmill. I like it when I go bike riding. I listen to it when I'm bike riding, and it's funny because when I'm on the treadmill, I have a table there, and I'm taking notes while I'm walking, and I'm listening to the Braveheart, and I listen to it in my car. So I mean, there's no excuse. Take the time for yourself because you're worth it.
Yeah, it's really important. Now, we're letting everybody know this before we start that Suzanne Gray, she has a colon therapy and deep tissue and nutritional clinic in Tampa, correct?
Yeah, Tampa. Actually, it's Lutz, but it's in the Tampa Bay area.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And she's hosting what is called our New World Practitioner course training. And that's where we do the whole life coach for 6 days. It starts on the 22nd of October and goes to the 27th. And then we have the Wolfe Deep Tissue from the 29th to the 4th. Oh, we only have 4 places left, everyone. And for all of them. And then the Wolfe Non-Surgical from November 6th to the 9th. And then from the 10th until the 16th, I'm doing another whole life coach because there's been such a high demand for it. And I'm also going to be doing a lecture there too.
Yeah, those dates will be forthcoming. Those of you in the Tampa Bay area, it's I write an article once a month in there, and Tampa Bay Wellness, talking about some of the work that I've been doing, and the dates will be there. And also on my Facebook, Renew Life Wellness or Suzanne Gray, I will have on there the lectures that we will have that Darrell will be doing. And I really strongly suggest please come to this, because this is such an opportunity to have Darrell come down to Florida. And
I'll be there for a month. 1 month. Oh, can you believe I'm going to be away from here for 1 month?
In the nice, sunny, humid Florida.
Yeah, and I'll actually be doing my shows from there. It won't look as good as this, but I'll be doing all my shows still. We'll continually do them. Abby's going to be doing a couple of my shows for me. But understand something. What are you worth? Like, I'll just tell you right now, my course is worth $6,900. And that's for the whole course, all 3 of them. The Whole Life Coach, the Wolfe Deep Tissue, and the Non-Surgical. And it's an investment. You know, we have people that come and take it that aren't going to use it for their clinic. We have people that have been in that are health professionals now, or medical professionals even, that are crossing over. And understand something. It may be just 19 days, but I will tell you something, that you'll get more out of this 19 days. I promise you. And not more information, but more take action information with strategies. I've got them all laid out for you. And we give you tons of support. We help to build your website if you want. We help you with your marketing. I will be doing trainings every week, 2-hour trainings about our products and our treatments for all our practitioners. We're going to guide you. So if you've always wanted to be a practitioner and you're going, I always wanted to do it, but I couldn't afford it, couldn't take the time, and I don't have the support, and I'm not confident enough, get over it. That part's over. We are going to make sure that you succeed. Okay, and we've created a template of success, haven't we?
Yes.
Haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and then also for practitioners that actually go through my course, and for professionals, you know, we have an affiliate program, and when you sell our products, you don't even have to carry them. You make 30%. So we've taken away the stress, and we've created this affiliate program. Think about it, 30%, who does that? We do it because we want you to succeed. The biggest problem with natural health practitioners is they're really bad business people. And it takes a long time to build up your business, and then you got to get the products. But we're going to do all of that for you to get you going. Okay? And I mean that. We will. You can do the sniff test to see if we're doing it because we care or just because we want your money. So you can figure that out as you go along the way. I think it'll all come to the surface, won't it?
Yes, it definitely will.
Yeah, it will. So anyways, why don't you tell them what they might learn in the Whole Life Coach course?
Oh my gosh. What you'll learn in the Whole Life Coach course is how much well, for me, let me personalize this because we're all the same. And that is how much we have been fooling ourselves, and we think that we really know ourselves. excuse me, and that we're hiding. We're hiding out because we are fearful that somebody might really see who we really are. I mean, I had to be this perfectionist. And my storyline was I wasn't good enough, I wasn't pretty enough, I wasn't smart enough. And that's just a bunch of BS. And now you'll find out who the boogie woman, well, in my life it was the boogie woman, not the boogeyman, that formed my belief system, and realizing that I am worthy and that I could do whatever I set my mind to. And yeah, there are bumps in the road. This is called life. But you know what? You pick yourself up and you move forward.
Yeah, just even if you could get to this one spot, and that is when you make a mistake, it wasn't a mistake.
It's a lesson.
You know what? I keep saying this all the time. You know, for you to become good at anything, you had to practice and you had to practice. But as soon as you become an adult, if you don't get something right away, then you're stupid. Mm-hmm. Or you know, oh, I've sinned, or I've wronged someone, or who wronged me, or get rid of that. Get rid of that. I'm going to fail many times today, and guess what? In the eyes of you, I'm going to fail. But in the eyes of me, I'm going to succeed, because the person that will keep going until they perfect it it's all about success. And then once you've perfected something, didn't you ever notice something? As soon as you perfect something, you move on. That's what life is. So you're going to continually fall, but we're going to teach you how to fall forward, dust yourself off. And you're just going to go, I got this. And you're going to enjoy falling, because as long as you're falling, you know that you haven't given up on you.
And you know, the beautiful thing is that I am living proof. It doesn't matter what chronological age you are. Don't tell me that you're too old. That's a bunch of BS. You can do this. It does
and she means
matter.
Dysfunctional belief systems, just
yes.
so you know. This is a family show.
Okay. And the other thing too, which I kind of find funny, I remember you said that you wear your love band, you know,
yeah.
and nobody's asked how many
Nobody
people,
does.
You know, in the past 3 months, I've had 5 people ask me. I'm sitting there, I'm doing my colon therapy on them, or I'm doing my deep tissue work, and I'm just sitting, I'm doing this. Well, Suzanne, what is that? I now have these in my room, and I give them to people and explain to them how to use it. And I said, and be careful, because when you use this love band, you want to give you gentle kisses. You don't want to go like that and hurt your wrist. You want to kiss yourself gently, embrace yourself. And one of the things I always kind of laugh at is when you go by that mirror, you look in that mirror and you say, hey, beautiful, you've got this. You are worth it.
And you are beautiful. Yeah. So let me ask you a question. On the Whole Life Coach course, we talked about the personal side of things, but on the professional side for doing emotional, nutritional counseling, what did you think? What did you get in those 6 days?
Oh, wow. That nutrition is so important, because what you eat, what your body assimilates. You've got to have plant-based foods, really. I'm an O blood type. I used to eat more meat than, not maybe the average, but I ate a lot of meat. I haven't had animal protein in, gosh, almost 8-9 months, even a year. I tried a little bit, and I thought, you know what? I felt really heavy.
Well, it's not even about that, but guess what, guys? You know, no guilt trip here, but all the animal eaters, they're the ones that are going to cause this planet to go into its 6th extinction. And I want you to do your research. And, you know, somebody told me, you know, and a very smart man said, if all the slaughterhouses had glass walls, people would stop eating meat yesterday. And you know what? We just got to stop killing. We got to stop killing.
And plants are nutritious.
Yeah.
I mean, and they taste good. You know, I make my my smoothie in the morning, and I do my organic eggs, my plant protein, my hemp hearts, and my magnesium, and almond milk. I have so much protein in that
Are you putting
drink.
the humic in yet?
I just started that.
Yeah, okay.
And Darrell has come out with some really great products, the fulvic and humic minerals, and the ATP, and the pineal. Oh my gosh, the pineal.
Take a look online and look up Dr. George Merkel, Life Crystals. I own the rights to them. Okay, and Life Crystals are the highest vibrating particle on the plant for regenerating new tissue in the human body. And we have that in our ATP formula, and in our pineal formula, and in our divine vine formula. And if you want to take a product and feel it, you're going to know it. And if you can't lose weight, check out our humic liquid formula, and you will drop the weight if you do that, plus the divine vine, because you'll have your hormonal balance, and then the humic will go in and just bring down the toxic load in the fat tissue, and then there's no need for it.
Well, and the other thing too, again, with the nutritional program that I followed and the emotions, because, you know, when they kill these animals, I mean, there's emotion in that, and you're ingesting it. And so I have found, like, eating the plant protein, I think clearer, I feel better. I don't take drugs. I just do my herbs, the elixirs that we get from here. That's all I really need. And I feel great.
And understand something. The most important part of your healing is understanding that you are a light energy being. And the day that you can totally eliminate guilt from your life. So what do you want to do? Do you want to learn from this situation, or do you want to burn from this situation? And every time that you create suffering for yourself because you believe that you should be punished, you should take a look around, because nobody's even noticing. So at least if you're getting paid for it, or if God was going to give you a mansion in the sky, I could understand why.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And
who are you suffering for, and why are you suffering? And this is the amount of love you hold for yourself. And this is the amount of hate that you hold for yourself. So, you know, is the cup full of love, or what is it full of? And you're going to have to decide that. Anyways, let's go on. So
Yeah,
the next
okay.
course would be the Wolfe Deep Tissue.
Oh, wow. I've been a massage therapist for nearly 30 years. My late husband used to work on me. He was a structural body worker, like an old-fashioned DO and stuff like that, energy work. And I always felt that I could move real smoothly and freely. When I had my sacrum worked on, I have never felt so much energy in my pelvis. And then Darrell had worked on me and the pelvic floor. He released my kundalini.
Well,
I mean, the energy.
I worked on her ovary, uterus, bladder area, right?
Yeah.
So some people won't know what that
you're
means.
right.
What
Okay.
that means, right?
So, I mean, I have never experienced this before, and I've been to a lot of different people. And that energy was so released. My hands were shaking like this, and I've never had that experience before. And I said, Darrell, what's going on here? And I remember he said, the energy's got to go somewhere. I released your kundalini. I said, great. You know, so I have found that this work just made me more free. But not only that, a lot of the stuff that I had stuffed because of the belief system and the fear that my mother had around sexual topics was given to me.
Well, that's like every woman.
Right. And
Yeah.
I realized that during this time, I released a lot of that.
Yeah.
So the issues are really hidden in the tissues and the way of getting it out. I find it more effective doing the Wolfe Deep Tissue work, getting rid of that scar tissue, the inflammation, because that will set you free. And yes, if you do have the inflammation, then we treat it a little different. We don't go in as deep, but we release it. And when the body starts healing itself, we can get rid of that scar tissue. You'll be able to move. One of the things I'd like to say is that I work with some structural body workers, and I've been working with a few people that have sent to me out of the office and in the office. And this person's been coming for structural body work for over a year or two. And when they asked me to work on her, I started working on her, and she started to get change in her entire body. And even the other therapists knew. So to me, that's really very strong proof that we can work together, that we can get other therapists in here and realize the foundation. You want a foundation in the body. But if you have that scar tissue in it, you're not going to be able to move. You've got to get rid of that scar tissue. Let the blood flow. Release those issues in the tissues. Let the body flow again.
Yeah, you have to understand, everyone, that the medical system does not recognize scar tissue until it's a fibroid, and then they can do surgery. Okay? And arthritis is just scar tissue and inflammation in your joints. So, you know what? How about we can get rid of that in 5 to 15 minutes? You heard what I said. Or do you want to take drugs for the rest of your life or go from specialist to specialist? Or do you want to just be crippled up? And maybe you do want to be crippled up because you just haven't got the attention you needed, and damn well you're going to get it no matter if it kills you. So, you know, this is what's going on out there, and this is why we deal with the emotional first. And if you don't deal with the emotional, they create the issues, which they eventually go in your tissues. So you start off with an image of yourself. So I want to ask everybody right now, just close your eyes, and I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to think about the image that you truly have for yourself. Please do not lie. Do not lie to yourself. You're not going to tell me, just yourself. What is the image that you have of yourself? And I'm not talking about, oh, I'm a mother, or I'm a carpenter. What is the image you have of yourself? Are you the blessing? Or are you something that never measured up? What is the image you have for yourself? Now understand something. If you can be totally honest and you can grab onto that image that you truly have for yourself, you'll find out why you live in the house you do, why you have the relationships you do, why you have the health that you do, and why you eat the food that you do, and you have the addictions that you do, and you are the weight that you are. That image is everything. We do not have a thought without an image first. So first comes that image. So the image that you have for yourself will create thought, won't it? And everything comes from that image, is every thought that you'll ever have. And even the thoughts that you have for the relationships that you're in. Because you can only love a person for the amount of love you have for yourself. You will hate another person as much as the hate that you have for yourself. Could you see me going and my government saying, listen, there's another country that we believe is going to attack us. We want you to catch a plane, Darrell, and go kill families. Understand that, I don't even know, what did you just say? Are you like out of your mind? So think about how people will embrace a topic based in hate and buy into it. Well, it's only because that person has been taught to hate themselves. And I know there's people out there going, isn't he just full of it? Well, that's why I have an 800 number, so you can challenge me. So now, the reality is the image creates the thoughts. Now, what do thoughts do? Thoughts create feelings. Now, are they creating loving feelings, or are they creating healing feelings, or destructive feelings, or what is it creating in you right now? What is that image of yourself creating? What are the feelings you've got? Those feelings create a frequency. Oh, well, because we are light energy beings. We know that, and if you don't believe that, then science proves that. So now you create frequencies. Now, if we were to take a look at all the frequencies that you create in the morning until you go to bed, so from the minute you open your eyes until you gently close your eyes, what are the frequencies and what are the main frequencies that you have for your world? What are the main frequencies you have for yourself? What are the main frequencies you have for the loved ones that you have? Do you have, are they based on fear? Are they based on courage? Are they based on jealousy, hate, anger, depression, sadness, bliss, joy? What is it? So then the whole day, if we compiled it, we'd have what we call the master frequency. So that master frequency can either turn on the genome of cancer or turn it off. That frequency can actually turn on autoimmune disease or turn it off. It can turn on inflammation or turn it off. So now that frequency becomes an experience, doesn't it? Because what happens is now you've got the image that went to a thought, that went to a feeling, the feeling caused a frequency, the frequency then caused hormones and chemicals to be dumped. Are they loving hormones and chemicals, or are they hateful ones? The hateful ones are going to cause the inflammation, scar tissue formation, and mutation. And then the loving ones are going to turn all that off and turn you on. And those are going to you ever notice something when you smile and you put your shoulders back, put your chin up, and somebody says, hey, beautiful, how are you? Right away, wow, where'd that energy come from? Or a child or somebody in your family just did something amazing. Where'd the energy come from? Or then somebody said something to you that wasn't nice, and all of a sudden, where did the energy go? Instantaneously, it leaves. Well, that's because you're a light energy being. So, oh, wait a minute here. then that must mean that on this planet we have one superpower, and that's called your emotions, and that's energy in motion. Do you know how to master your emotions? I bet you don't. And that's why you're out of control. That's why your life's out of control. That's why your health's out of control. That's why your finances are out of control, because there's no lack on this planet. Because our Creator said, whatever you give attention to the most, I will give you more. So where's your attention? Well, it can only be on the image that you have for yourself. That's where your attention is. So where is your attention? What is the image you have for yourself? So now you've released those chemicals, whether they be good or bad. Do that over and over again, continually. How often do you have fear? How often do you feel joy? So you're either creating or you're destroying yourself. So now what happens? Have that experience over and over again. What do we call it? We call it a habit. When I put my shirt on, I'm not thinking about how to button my shirt. I'm not thinking how to take my pants off or put them on. I'm not thinking about how to have a shower or brush my teeth. Because it's a habit. 85 trillion cells in my body have all declared that they understand what to do, and they work together. All of my cells and all these come together, and all my bones and nervous system and every part of my body comes together to do this without thought. So guess what? Go ahead. Have bad images about yourself which have what? Bad thoughts about yourself which have what? Have bad feelings, and then bad frequencies, have bad chemicals, and then create that and do that enough, and you create a bad habit. So guess what? Oh my God, it's 3:15, it's time for a panic attack. It's 4:15, time to worry about little Billy. It's 8:15, time to worry, is my husband cheating on me? It's 9:15, and oh my God, I've got bills. Well, who doesn't? I love bills. And when I have bills, I know because I can make money to do that. As soon as you awaken to who you are. So guess what? Everybody in your family, everybody that's in the hospital, they are living unconsciously, because you have the CEO, which is called, okay, your conscious brain, which is only 10% of your brain. 90% of it is your subconscious, where you store all your prominent beliefs, whether they're killing you or healing you. And then your unconscious brain is your body that does things automatically without your brain. Why did you just do that? I don't know. Why? I want to know why you did that to me again. I don't know. Well, of course she doesn't know, or he doesn't know. You're not supposed to know, because as long as you don't know, they stay in the know, and you're not in the know, and you become a no-no. Okay. This is why we do the emotional course before we do the deep tissue course. And this is why you have the pain in your knees, or the pain. Oh, talking about knees, Friday, we're going to be doing about a half an hour, 35 minutes at 10 o'clock on Pacific Standard Time on Friday. We're going to show you how to work on your knees and get rid of arthritis. We're going to show you how to work on your knees and not go for surgery. We're going to show you how to work on your knees and not have to go to the same practitioner to get the same treatment every 2 weeks, okay? And then we're going to show you on different joints every once in a while. But the reality is that, you know what? You should be worth it, time-wise and money-wise, and come and take a personal treatment and training, or have one of my master trainers coming to your home and teach your whole family and come there for a week, or come and take our courses in Florida. So anyways, the Wolfe Deep Tissue is going to show you how to go and work on every joint in the human body, because that's where even though you've got pain in your muscles, it's your joints that are the problem. That's where the scar tissue is. We get in there and we release that. And that's what we're going to do. And anybody can learn this. Okay? If you're 12 years old, you can learn everything that I know. Because guess what? God created it that way. God created it that way, or the Creator, or whatever you believe in, the universal consciousness, created it that way that a 12-year-old can do everything that needs to get done. All right? So then we go to non-surgical, and that is the icing on the cake.
Wow.
We're going to teach you how to actually pull a fibroid apart. The fibroid that the doctor said, I'll keep an eye on that for you. And when it gets big as a melon, then we'll go in and we'll cut that out. And then we'll make you feel like we saved you. And then that'll create a lot more scar tissue that'll wrap around the rest of your organs. And your life will really suck after that. because guess what? When you cut in with a knife, it creates more scar tissue than the body could ever do. Once you cut with a knife, whether it's appendicitis, whether it's cesarean, whether it's to remove a fibroid, whether it's to do surgery on the shoulder or hip surgery, that type of knife cut will create long scar tissue roots that will wrap around things, and then you'll find out what it's like to get choked. So what we do in the non-surgical is we do the breast work. You want to talk?
Oh, boy.
Well, first we'll start from the face.
Oh, the face. The face is amazing because we hold so much in our face, and especially here in our TMJ.
Yeah.
This is a point that we just hold on to everything. And so what we do is we release the scar tissue, because there is scar tissue because of the inflammation around the jaw, around the ear. The fascinating thing about the ear was I did actually one time on my sister, and we got rid of some of her lines, but her hearing improved in both her ears.
Well, what about the couple from England?
Oh, yes.
I worked on his ear. I worked on his ears for about 20 minutes each ear, and he left his hearing aids here. Oh, and his wife, she went deaf, and she was deaf in her right ear, and she was deaf in her right ear for, I think it was almost 2 years, and I worked on that for half an hour.
Right.
And it's been 1.5 years, and she has complete hearing. So understand something. You have what you have is you have this here, okay, is muscle.
Balls, yeah.
But it's the deeper muscles that create the scar tissue that then cause your skin to sag. And that's why we say we can do a natural facelift. When we go deep within the deeper layers of the tissue, we go into the different, insertion and origin of the muscle tissue. It's easy to learn. And what we do is when we go in there and we release that, then the blood flow, the nerve flow, the collagen, the elastin all comes back. Did you hear what I said? I hope you're getting this. We'll take 5 to maybe 7 years off your face.
Yeah, in fact, when I had it, because I have like an oval face, my face actually felt more round.
Yeah.
And it was just really amazing. And then working the face, the eyes, it's amazing. I never thought that I would have scar tissue up on my skull.
Yeah.
And that was released, and it just felt absolutely wonderful. And then we went to, we did the breast.
Before we do that though, but understand something. So if you've got a problem, even with your eyesight, or you got a problem with your sinuses, we're talking about within minutes, we'll release your sinuses. We're talking about if you've got a TMJ problem where you're being told you need a $10,000 mouth guard, come to us first, and it should take me about 15 to 20 minutes to resolve that. Did you hear what I said? And a lot of times when you think that you have infections and inflammation in your teeth and your gums, it's actually being created by your TMJ. Even Abby today, one of my master trainers, she thought she had a inflammation infection in her under her gum at a tooth, and I went in and worked on the TMJ and released it right away. And it doesn't just stop there. Okay, we're talking about double chins. We're talking about getting rid of jowls. Okay, we're talking about getting rid of the deep lines. All right? So...
Well, and the other thing too, Darrell, and this is where diet comes in. I mean, because if you eat a lot of dairy, and I'm talking milk, and I'm talking cheese, that really collects in the face.
Well, inflammation is inflammation,
and is inflammation. But I find that when I have done the face with people, it collects right in this area.
Yeah, and here's one of the biggest problems, okay? Yeah, in the sinuses. You got it. You nailed it. You nailed it. But here's one of the biggest problems people don't understand. Did you ever have somebody in your family that continually was having anxiety? Okay? And for no reason. Remember that what I told you, the unconscious body just does it? Well, guess why they can't get out of it? Because your vagus nerve that runs right down here gets locked because of the TMJ. Now, do you know what the TMJ is? This is the anger point of the face. Right here is where, oh, I can't stand you. Or you get so angry and you words unspoken. And, there's a lot of anger that comes in here. And then that locks up the vagus nerve. And the vagus nerve, which is called your wandering nerve, which goes through your whole body. And it creates that parasympathetic feeling like, I got this. And you can't get into that feeling anymore of rest, relaxation, calming, restoring feeling.
And the thing too, I mean, in all the classes that I've taken, like with massage therapy, nobody really emphasizes the vagus nerve as much as you do.
Well, because the vagus nerve. Well, yeah, but you
It's
have
the
to
main
understand.
conductor.
Okay, first of all, this is not. I'm not saying what I'm saying,
Okay.
but I am saying it. I'm going to tell you the things that cost you no money, as much as possible.
Yeah.
Remember something. The Doc of Detox, ITIOH, Dr. Darrell Wolfe. This is, I'm 62, and you know what? I learned this back when I was really learned this. By the time I was 35, it really hit me hard. That it's not about, okay, so for every problem, there's got to be a sale. No, for every problem, there has to be an answer. And the answer is called empowering patients. And that's what our New World Practitioner protocol is all about. Our whole course system is built on that, is to empower the practitioners to actually unleash and release the real them. Because, trust me, most practitioners are messed up. Okay?
Oh, yeah, because they don't take care of themselves.
Well,
don't get
no,
work done,
they've never taken care of themselves. They've only learned their art form. How many practitioners have actually, they'll come up and stand out there and go, you know what? I love myself. I love myself totally.
Wow.
Okay? And you know what? And I'm going to teach all my patients how to love themselves totally. How many people do that? How many practitioners, they don't do that. And they're not going to do that because there's no money in it. But you have to understand something. The universe always provides. Always provides. I'm not worried about any of this. I'm going to create platforms that help the person to empower themselves, to empower their family. You know what? Let's just stop talking about, about ending the wars, because they're not going to end. The wars aren't going to end until you end the war inside yourself.
Start with yourself.
Start with yourself. You know what? Like this. Oh, I'm a survivor. Who in the heck wants to be a survivor? You want to be a thriver. That's what cancer patients say. You know what? Oh, I'm in the process. Who wants to be in the process? I got this. I got this. I got this. That's the old me. I'm amazing. So, let's be here right now. And how long does it need to change? Whether you want something little or something that is astronomical, in the eyes of the universe, it's still just a wish. My wish is your command.
All we have to do is ask.
That's right. And a lot of people aren't going to believe this because you never practiced this. And if you never practiced it and you're not good at it and you don't believe it, then it's not going to happen. And I do it every day and I get everything I want. And you know the old saying, you don't get everything you want, but you get what you need? Ah, phooey. You know what? I get what I really want. If I really want it, I'm going to get it. Okay? And then you got to ask yourself, do you really want it for you? Or do you want it because everybody else wants that? Or your mommy or your daddy want it for you? Or your husband wants it for you? What do you want? You know what? This is your life. This is your destiny. You came down to this life-threatening, fun-filled adventure. And you know what? That's all it is. So what do you want? What about you? So that's what we're talking about here today. So whether you come to our courses or whatever you do, I hope that, it's like this, okay? Today and every day, from the moment I rise until I close my eyes, I will create the perfect day. I will trust, honor, respect, protect, and love myself first and foremost before anything else or anyone else. So help me God, because I am, I can, I will. And that is, if you can't say that or you can't say it out loud, I understand. But you want to get to the point that you're loud and proud about how beautiful you are. So let's talk about breasts.
You always talk about breasts.
Yeah. Okay. That's me.
So this was absolutely amazing. In the classes, we had people as young as 24 all the way to 71. And, you would think that, the younger ones wouldn't have any kind of scar tissue up in the sternum around the breast area.
Or in the pelvis.
And oh my God, they had, I think some of them had as much as I did, and I had several years on them. It is absolutely amazing to be able to feel not just some freedom, because, in the work that I do, sometimes I'm over like this, but you feel uplifting. The breasts are uplifted because you have maybe fibroids or cysts, and when the breasts are worked on, it allows the circulation to come through. It releases the scar tissue underneath the breast, in the rib cage, the sternum. You get an uplift. You don't have to go and get a knife and pull the skin up or get inserts.
No.
And this is one thing. Be happy with what God gave you. This augmentation that people are going through with their butts and their breasts, you know what? You're worth looking at your body and loving it.
Yeah, but guess what?
What?
But if you want to do it, love that too, but make sure that you eat well and make sure that you get any type of surgery or augmentation that you're going to at 10 weeks after. Get somebody to go in there and get rid of all the scar tissue that the knife has caused, because that is where the problem lies. Let me tell you something. You may get this. I'm not saying do it. Okay, but breast implants, I'm not saying do it or don't do it. Understand? Remember something? I observe. I'm not judging. The reality is, it's the scar tissue that they cause putting the implant in that actually can cause the cancer, that actually can cause the fibroid, that can cause the inflammation. Because scar tissue dams up things. It stops the blood flow, the lymph flow, it stops the energy flow, and when that happens, that's when you get a beaver dam. You back up things, and when you back up things, you get waste there, and when you get waste, you get acidic. Then you get calcium deposits coming in. Understand, what we're going to do is it's called one-shot therapy, and we're going to do one-shot therapy technique on the knee, come up this Friday. And you know what? Every once in a while, I'll come on just like that this Friday, and we'll do a different part of the body. You're not going to be able to go in and totally get rid of it, but we're going to show you that everybody's been sucker punched, that, you know, even like the medical treatments and all the natural health treatments out there, if they're not working on getting rid of your scar tissue, then what do you think they're doing? What do you think that is? You know, so you're only going to be good to the next treatment. Do you want your elasticity and your strength and your mobility to come back, or you just want to manage your pain? You know what? The most craziest thing I've ever seen in my life is a sign that you see on clinics: pain management. I don't want to manage my pain.
Let's get rid of it.
What are you, like? Are you insane? So that practitioner in there is not even going to take you very far. Not going to take you far at all, because their belief system is that we can only manage pain. Are you kidding me? You're kidding me, right?
Well, the other thing too I want to say about the breast too, when you do that, and the chest for the gentleman, is that you open up the lymphatic system. I actually worked on somebody, and she had some fibroids in her breast. They were probably a size of a half a lemon, and I worked on her and actually got them gone, and she went down a cup size in her breasts because it was so loaded with the fibroids and the fluid, because a lot of times women today are wearing their underwire breasts, and
you know what? That's an antenna, which means you're pulling in every bloody microwave frequency, and every cellular frequency is hitting that antenna, right?
And it stifles the lymphatic system.
Yeah,
and you see a lot of, you know, fluid underneath here with people. But when you
get a lot of radio stations.
Yeah. AM and FM too, right?
Yeah, that's right.
But when you do this, it's really great, because they get up and you can feel the rib cage is expanding. The breasts have been lifted.
And they have been lifted.
Yes, they have. And it's a wonderful feeling. It doesn't matter what size you are.
Yeah, so what we do is we go in here, and the first thing you'll find is if you've got fat in your armpit, then that's not fat. That's your lymph nodes actually backed up. There's no such thing as fat in the armpit. But you'll find here with every woman, even a teenager, she's going to have this massive scar tissue right here. She's going to have it under her breast, okay? And guess what? I did an actual Facebook, and they wouldn't let us boost it because it was sexual content. But this is somebody that's 32 years old, and she has nice breasts, okay? But the fibroids in her breasts went all the way except to about an inch before her nipple.
Oh, wow.
But and her breasts were in really great shape. So anyways, that was on my Facebook if you want to search it, and it's something about beautiful breasts if you want to look in Facebook. But anyway, so what we're going to do when she comes back, because they're in Europe, we're going to go in and we're going to get rid of all the fibroids. So she had them all under here, and then this was all calcified and crystallized. 32 years old. And then up here, Okay, right underneath the clavicle, she had scar tissue too, but the worst was right here, and it was right here where the bra was, the wire,
Right.
and like I said, it caused scar tissue just an inch before her breast.
Right.
Okay.
But you know what else I'm finding out? Because of diets, men are developing breasts. There was actually a man that was sitting in a gynecologist's office because he had breast cancer. So, again, going back to the diet, and then coming
But
in.
that's hormone. That's a lot of hormones. That guy has been taking a lot of hormones in.
From,
Right, there's been a lot of hormones. I guarantee that he probably has a lifetime pass at Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Oh.
So really,
Darrell?
yeah,
All right, but the thing is too that men too. I mean, we work on you as well, and
Right.
release it. And the whole
Darrell.
thing too is, the rib
yeah.
cage.
Hold on, somebody's yelling. Yes.
Oh, they're off now.
Okay.
Okay, so the rib cage too. I mean, to have that released is to allow the lungs to everything expand, the diaphragm, and being able to breathe in deeper, get oxygenation into the body, and feeding the brain and the entire body. It's just amazing.
Okay, and the other thing too is here's a good one.
Yeah.
Check out the people in your family that have high blood pressure, or check out the people that have angina in your family, or ever thought they had or they thought they had a heart attack, or they feel pressure around their heart all the time, and you're going to find massive scar tissue all around their heart. You should see when we go in with people like this, it can be that thick of scar tissue, and when we go in and we release this, usually they cry for like 10-15 minutes.
Oh yes.
And that's all that emotion because their heart's been broken so much because they were taught that everybody else was going to fill it up for them. And when they fall in love, they fall in love so deeply. And then it gets filled up and it's like, they can breathe again. And then, I can live again. And then when they fall out of the relationship, because remember, if you're desperate for love, you're going to lose it.
Yeah. And that's like the bottom line with everything on all these courses. It
Yeah.
really is about self-love. And at one time I thought I was going to go change the world and change the family. No, I'm not changing anybody. I changed myself. I love myself. And people ask me at times who have known me.
Beautiful. We have a caller. Let's take a caller and we'll take this caller and then we'll come back to chat. Okay. Caller.
Hi, Darrell. This is Sean.
Hey, Sean. How you doing, big fella?
I'm doing really, really well. How are you?
I'm great, thank you.
I was trying not to interrupt you. I think I was like yelling in your ear or something, but thanks for taking my call here. I called in at whatever it was. You said calling at 3:20, so I called in at 3:20. You know what? It's been really amazing to listen. Is it Suzanne? Is that right?
Suzanne Gray, yeah, from Florida.
Okay, yeah. So it's been great. I didn't want to get her name wrong. It's been great to listen to you and Suzanne, and I absolutely 100% appreciate everything that you do and all the great people that you bring on. Now, I'll just tell you one thing. I was sick, and I didn't realize it for about 3 years. Well, I realized it 3 years ago that I was. And my wife, somehow, in her infinite love for me, found you on the Truth About Cancer. And we've been following you since then. And I'm just going to I don't know how many other callers are on the line, but I just want all those people to know that you have never broken down a single bit of scar tissue in my body, but I have had this incredible transformation in my life. I mean, just epic, because you know what? I think what you did is we did your Braveheart course, we bought your tea for free. I mean, you have a ton of good products, good advice. And you have structuring units. We've got one every. I mean, it's like we've done all of it, and I'm sure that that's made a huge difference. But like you said, it's like it's all about how you put your mind and like your vibration. It's like what is the total of your vibration at the end of the day? And I feel like a lot of people really need to restructure their lives in a way where they can vibrate higher. I think you're in Canada, like I'm in Sacramento, California, driving in traffic, and you know what? I didn't let a single person bother me. Like I just was like listening, And if you're somebody who's spending 3 hours a day commuting in traffic, like change your life so you don't have to do that. Be happier with less stuff. We just have way too much junk cluttering. And you know what? I feel like we are absolutely at some point, it's not going to be like, I don't know when it's going to be, but at some point we will make it to see you. And I really got like God put it on my heart that like I've had my breakthrough. Like my breakthrough, I was able to come to from you just handing me that one ember and saying, you know what, build a fire with it. And you know what I did? And the fire has changed my life, and it's changed my family's life. But what I realized is, you know what? My wife has loved me so much. I know she's on the call right now with her 2 little boys. And you know what? She has a lot of scar tissue. She was born incredibly premature. You know, like to the point where she's 31 years old now, almost in a month. Hate to out you there, hun, but still very young. But, you know, she had a lot of physical issues that sort of I kind of gathered and compiled in my bucket over time, but just like, you know what, she needs this. And I'm like, you know what, we're going to be there. And I just want all the callers who are listening to be like, you know what, this is some crazy guy calling in. He sounds like a nut job, right? Like I feel so amazing that I'm like, okay, probably everyone's going to think I'm crazy, but like I don't care. And I'm like, I told you this afternoon. I said, you have been an absolute game changer in our life. And it's like, I feel like a lot of people are maybe like living by themselves in a marriage or living by themselves in a relationship or a family. And it's like, don't change the game for you so that you can stand up on a high mountain and go, look at my rippling body and how awesome I am and I feel terrific. Do it for your family. Get your family to where you belong and where you're at. Like, don't leave them behind in the dust. Bring them up with you, you know, and everything that you've said, like, I really, really needed to hear. And I heard it a long time ago. You know, I heard it in your Braveheart course. I listened to your Braveheart course. I'm just going to be really real. And maybe this will make some people think it's gross. I would listen to your Braveheart course while I was laying and meditating on the bathroom floor on my mat doing coffee enemas. And it's like, you know what happened? You recommended something to me, and maybe you can talk about it. It was the 100% pure gum spirit turpentine, and I took it for like 4 months. You know what I realized is it didn't have any, like the gum spirit, it's not a cure-all. It doesn't, like, yeah, I'm sure it fixes stuff and it helps, but you know what? What I did in my heart was I said, you know what, this is a symbol. This gum spirit turpentine is a symbol that I'm willing to take something that scares me. The first time I took it, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm literally like putting poison in my body. But then I changed my mindset and I was like, you know what, I'm not poisoning myself. Darrell told me. I trust Darrell. Like, I absolutely trust everything that you say, you know, and we probably, you know, if we were going to sit down at the dinner table, I'm sure that there'd be topics we didn't see eye to eye on, maybe just life topics or whatever. But when it comes to the human body and it comes to the brain, like, if anybody's listening out there, you have really got it down better than anyone else we could find, because you know what? You care. And you have it absolutely right. It's like, you know what? Go out and love people, but love yourself first. Because if you're an awful person, you're not going to love yourself. And you're not an awful person. Like, you have bad programming. Somebody told you you're an awful person. You know, my dad told my brother that he was an awful person, and he lived up to it. You know, and I had to tell him the other day. I was like, our dad was terrible with you. Like, he put a label on you. And I was like, this is who you are. And I just poured encouragement into his life. And maybe it'll take him forever to figure it out, or maybe he'll figure it out tomorrow. But I just want you to know that I am a success story. And I'm a success story because I chose to point my compass in the right direction and apply as much power as I could. I have been on it every day, every hour for like 3 years, and I was ready to go another 3. And guess what? 9 days ago, something came out of me, and it wasn't just an insane thing in the toilet. It was like an insane thing in my heart, in my brain, in my body, and it's like, you know what? Like,
you know what?
My body is.
You raised
like,
your.
I'm healthier. I'm healthier than when I was 17.
That's right.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I want you to continue, but you raised your vibration so high that nothing lower than that could exist. It had to pack a bag and leave. That's it. So understand something.
And you told.
Go ahead.
And you told me that. You told me that, and you know what? I didn't forget it. I didn't go like, gee, Darrell told me something. I can't remember what it was. It was like something really cool. I don't know. Let's go watch the next, network show or whatever. I just was like, I'm going to meditate on this, and I'm going to do it, and this is going to happen. And it was like 3 weeks of just raising that daily vibration quotient of like, what's your vibration percentage at the end of it? I just did it. And you know what happened right before that happened? The day before, I had the most incredible day with my family. It was like, and it cost $0. We just barbecued stuff outside and, you know, had a wonderful meal, and I just appreciated them. I was like, you know what, that costed me $0. And at the end of it, you know what, I was like, oh, my mother-in-law was coming over, and I had to poke my wife in the shoulder, and it's like, oh my gosh, I was like, my stomach is in this insane pain right now. I felt like I was being jabbed in the stomach. And you know what, she finally left. I did a coffee, and this is probably going to gross out some people. You know what, when you do, I know that you used to do colonics. There's probably nothing that comes out of the human body anymore that you're surprised about. But I'll tell you what happened to me. It looked like, I'm not even joking, like I was 4 pounds lighter, and I've been doing coffee enemas for almost a year. I mean, I have like 8% body fat. I mean, there was like a flat stomach. There was nothing left. 4 pounds of whatever it is, biofilm or junk. It looked like I was looking at a mirror image of my intestines, of my small intestines coiled in the toilet. You know what? And I almost showed my wife because I was like, this is the weirdest, craziest thing I've ever seen. But I was like, you know what? I'm just going to say goodbye. And you know what? When I say goodbye, it's everything that you said it would be. I actually was sad for about 3 seconds because I was like, you know what just happened? I can't complain anymore about not feeling good. I was like, I'm actually like on the other side, and I was sort of sad. You know what? And I think that you're right. I think a lot of people are afraid of being sad that they'll feel better because they can't walk around and tell everyone how sick they are anymore. Hey, how you doing today? Oh, my leg and my back and my stomach, and I'm 800 pounds. And it's like, you know what? Stop eating the McDonald's and go love yourself. And it's everything that you say it is. But the problem is, I think, and you offer like this course, I 100% believe in it, and we will someday be there. But I think that you have to have this course for some people because they are unwilling to just do it themselves. But I'm saying that do Darrell's course. Everybody, don't get me wrong. Do Darrell's course. Go and see Darrell. But you can also do it yourself. Like, you can also do it yourself, right? And I bet you would uncover things that I don't even know about in my body, and I would feel even better than I do now. But there's just, like, people have got to understand, stop being the victim. Like, reprogram yourself. Because I reprogrammed myself, and it wasn't overnight. It was like a 3-year process, and I was ready to go until my end of my life, however long that was. I'm 37 years old, and you know what? I'm a young man, and I've got a wonderful family and a wonderful wife, and I'm blessed. And I think a lot of people are young men or young women or older, or wherever they're at, and they don't realize that they're blessed. They feel like everything's owed to them. They need a bigger, shinier car, a bigger, more beautiful house, a bigger, more beautiful bank account. And the problem is when you know, all said and done, I have relatives like that. They are miserable. It does not fix anything.
Yeah, but but let us not forget why they're doing it. It's because there just isn't anything good in there to get. So, you know what? They buy the shiny things because that takes the distraction off of them. I mean, come on, let's be honest here. How many people do you know actually where the wife and the husband actually look at each other for more than 3 seconds in each other's eyes? You know, part of the Braveheart course is where you sit there for 20 minutes holding each other's hands and looking in each other's eyes in silence and just doing the Lionheart breathing. And I'll tell you, that's where stuff comes up. But think about it. How many people out there have relationships?
I absolutely agree, Darrell. And you know what? I'm going to have to go into work in a little bit. I'd love to just sit here and chat with you. And I called in today to just encourage you for like 3 minutes, and you're like, call back. And you know what? I'm so glad that I did. And if there's one person on the phone who really, really gets it, like in their heart, and it's everything that you said it is. Like, you know, I've got to go to work, but whoever's on the call, stay and listen to Darrell. You know, go do his Braveheart training. Like, go do all that stuff, because all that stuff that you have lined up is correct. And you know what I discovered is I love my wife, and I love her more than I ever have, because I wasn't really loving her the right way because I wasn't loving myself.
Boom.
And you know what? We stayed up this whole past week. You know, we watched the sun come up one day like we were, you know, newlyweds. And it's like, you can do that. And that's all I have to say, Darrell. I'm done. You've heard everything that I have to say. And I think you are a game changer. Everyone on the call can be a game changer. I want to go be a game changer. You know what I do? Is I wait tables. I'm not a big, important person. I'm not a doctor. I'm just the hands and feet out there doing stuff, you know?
Yeah,
it's
but
like,
guess what?
Go,
but hold on
I'm
a
going to go
second.
love on some people now.
But hold on a second, and I'm going to let you go. But I'll tell you something. There's nothing more important to me than having someone serve me that is full of heart. And that is so
100%.
important. Yeah, it's everything. Thank you so much. We are blessed by
Darrell.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm blessed.
Hey, listen.
We love you, Darrell.
And you know what? I'm going to serve you today, my friend. Okay? All right, everybody.
You're awesome, Darrell.
So are you.
I love you, Darrell. Bye.
All my love to you and your family. So there you go. Okay. So, yeah, that's quite a call. So let's get back to it, okay?
All right.
All right. So we talked about the breasts. Now, let's talk about the abdomen, which is the core that's, for most people, on the floor.
Yeah. And I was amazed when I had taken the course the second time, and I was worked on by Sage. And I'm a colon therapist, so that's my favorite area. And I didn't realize the scar tissue because I've had a couple surgeries. And not only that, but what he brought to mind was, you know, the umbilical cord. And I never thought about that. That when that's cut, you're going to have inflammation going on, and how the scar tissue can grow if you have the bad diet and the negativity in life, etc. And I was amazed that with the work that he'd done, that my colon was, because I've had a colonoscopy before when I was 59, and I have an extra long colon, and I know that's wiped around, and it's kind of gathered like this. And after he got done working on it, not only did it lift up, but it started to broaden out. And I'm going to be getting more work done on it. And you just feel so freed up, and you can move. You know, your gut is everything, and it's not just always about pooping, but you know, you've got your microbiome there, and your emotions there, and the musculature, your psoas muscles, the muscle that connects the trunk to the rest of your body. And that is like on the sides of your pelvis. And working in there on the side with the scar tissue that we hold from belief systems that, in my case, passed down from my mother, and being a female, because we've got a lot of stuff going on with that. And I had freedom. I felt very free and flowing, and when I do this work with my clients before the colonic, and they're just amazed of what comes out of them emotionally and physically.
Yeah, and you know, the thing is, and when we talk about the core, the large intestine is the mother of all organs, and we need to understand something. Your bacteria are called your bacteria are your second brain. It actually isn't your large intestine. It's what's inside the large intestine. And just in 1 gram of fecal matter, you have more bacteria than all the people on this planet, in just 1 gram. And it's your bacteria that will decide whether you are really healthy and even more intelligent. Now, I'm not talking about reading more books. I'm talking about your IQ. I'm talking about being sharper. I'm talking about your spirit. To be really spirited, you need healthy bacteria. And the problem is that the majority of the population, it's supposed to be 80-20, but it's actually 20-80. You know, only 20% of your bacteria is good, and the other 80. You know, you can walk around and be a man and look like you're 9 months pregnant and rub your belly and nobody notices. You know, you can walk around limping and nobody notices today. And you can be walking around limping and maybe crying, and the odd person might notice today. You know, to like I said, to age is normal, but to be crippled is a law against nature, and it really is a law against nature. But there's so many crippled people, and the medical system, like the doctors, aren't going, God, I can't wait till we have more crippled people. But they're all part of a very contaminated, corrupt system, and they know it's corrupt and contaminated. And if they don't, then they are just like, well, that's why there's so many zombie movies. But whatever. So the reality is that we're all being turned into zombies, because I refuse, and I'm not going to believe that, you know.
Well, the other thing too, Darrell, that I'm thinking about, a lot of the women, because seems like it goes in phases of C-sections.
Well,
And-
I think that, if the medical system was going to be fair to women, they should put a zipper in there.
Oh.
Well, you keep cutting into them. Seriously, guys. I mean, let's just get a zipper there. The thing is you get more for a C-section than you get a birth, guys. And the other thing is that it's a lot easier to do a C-section than to wait around for Mother Nature, right? And the other thing is this, it's not about you. They could care less about you. Okay, it's about just ram bam. I mean, this is a hospital is an assembly line / slaughterhouse, and people are going, my God, he's awful harsh. Well, no, I'm not. No, I'm not harsh. What I am is I'm real. And the thing is that you need to take your power back, and you need to understand that you don't need surgery unless you're in a terrible accident. 99.9% of all the surgeries that people get are not needed. It's all because of misinformation, and everybody's been given a manual, not even a neutral one, but one to attack ourselves. But let's get back to the abdomen.
Yeah.
So we can actually lift your large intestine up by 3 inches. Did you hear me? That when it's sitting down on your bladder, your prostate, your uterus, your ovaries, okay? And, get that off of there. So, and understand that anybody that's got, that has a belly that's starting to hang over their belt, you have to understand you don't just have a belly. You have a lot of fat that's killing you, and you're actually decomposing. Yeah, you're alive, but you're actually rotting inside. So let's all get that. And everybody that you see that looks more than just 3 months pregnant, they're putrefying. Like they have tissue rotting inside. All right? And don't tell me that person's fun to live with, because they're not. They're hard to live with. They're moody. I'd be moody too if I was pooping in my blood. I'd be moody too if I was reabsorbing my own waste. And I'd be moody too if the waste was being reabsorbed down into my pelvis and it was choking off my prostate or my uterus and my ovaries and strangling my bladder and making me get up 3 to 5 times a night to go pee. All this does not have to happen. And I challenge you to prove me wrong. All right? I challenge any doctor to come on and call me right now. Call me right now and call me out. Okay? Because that's what it's come down to. Not a shootout at the OK Corral, but it's come down to either put up or shut up. Because there's children that are getting hurt, mothers that are getting hurt, grandmothers, grandfathers that are getting hurt. Everybody's getting hurt. And they're getting hurt needlessly just to feed greedy corporations, right? And we're telling you that you can learn all these techniques and you can learn how to be the hero of your family. All right, you can go in there and you can actually get rid of adhesions that are at the liver, okay, the gallbladder, you're at the spleen. You can go in there and release a hiatal hernia. How would you like that? You're getting heartburn all the time, and get rid of that. How would you like to relieve the pressure off the heart for your loved one? How would you like to go in and they're getting cramps all the time down by their hip, and here it is, the cecum blockage, or there's gas that's always getting trapped. How would you like to be the person that in 2 or 3 minutes can undo that? You heard what I said, 2 or 3 minutes. Yeah. Enough is enough is enough is enough. Is enough.
It is enough.
It is enough.
You do the deep tissue work, it is enough.
It's enough. And if you learn how to create the perfect day on an emotional, nutritional, and physical level for yourself, it will have a ripple effect on your family. And no, you're not going to save everyone, and no, you weren't supposed to save everyone. Remember, we are infinite beings that will live forever, and we came down here to have a fun-filled adventure, life-threatening one actually, okay? And guess what? Man has been at war with himself since the beginning, and he will be at war with himself in the end, and it's none of your business. Your business is to fall in love with yourself and be the light for your family. Let's talk about the pelvis.
Oh, the pelvis. Wow. There's so much. The pelvis, what we work on now. Can they see down this way?
No, I don't think they can.
So anyhow, with the
But
pelvis,
everybody knows where the pelvis is. That's where your zipper would be.
Yes. So a lot of women out there that if you've had your tubes tied, and a lot of women out there are getting like these tummy tucks. Okay. Again, when you have the deep tissue work done, it will help release the scar tissue in there. It will free up because your legs are attached up here. And if you're frozen in the pelvis, you're just walking like this, like a soldier, you get the body work done, the deep tissue work done, and you'll just be flowing and walking like you're on air.
Every woman, every man, you know what they say? I feel free. I've been freed up. You have no idea of how this scar tissue wraps around your ovaries, your uterus, your bladder, your prostate. And you know what? Just because we say women get endometriosis, well, so do men. They get the scar tissue, the crystallization, just the same. Okay? And everybody, when you go down there, if I were to put a mic down there and we were to work on your pelvis area, lovingly work on it, you would hear crunching and snapping. And that's actually the crystallization, the calcium. And what we're doing is we're not breaking anything or ripping anything. What happens if the area stays infected, it gets inflamed. If it gets inflamed, the body, that means the body will overreact and it will send fibrin. It will continually send fibrin. That fibrin builds up, builds up, builds up, builds up until you have a fibroid. Listen, I work on women with fibroids as big as, you know this, as big as a cantaloupe, and I can get it down 30% sometimes, 40% in the first hour. Now, you go to your doctor, he's not going to touch it. You go to almost every other naturopath, they're not going to touch it. They're going to look at it. I doubt if they'll even palpate it. They might take an x-ray of it. Oh, for God's sakes, let's not touch each other. Oh, and the other thing, let's definitely not teach you how to work on me and me to work on you so that we can just take control of our lives. And let's say, sweetheart, when you go to roll over at night in bed, and then you get a twinge in your back, and in 2 minutes I can go in there and untie the knot, and then you get to go back to sleep. No, let's leave the knot, and then when you get up and you just move a little bit to get out of bed or pick up your socks, it goes right out. So you have to go to the chiropractor, go to the acupuncturist, or go get more drugs. Let's, for God's sakes, not take control of this beautiful body we've been given. And of course, we don't have the intelligence to look after it anyways, because we need to go to school for years and years.
Yeah, and you know, it's amazing to me when I see people, my clients come in and they share stories with me that they go to their chiropractor twice a week. And I'm like, what makes you do that? Come in and get the... Well, you know, I said something about scar tissue, and he said there was no such thing in the joints.
Let me tell you something.
Like, what?
I will meet anybody on any front, meaning this. When you fail with a patient, you send them to us, and we'll work on them for free. And then we'll meet back online here. I don't want to hear the silliness about no inflammation, no scar tissue. That doesn't exist. You know what? Then why is Grandpa walking stiff as a board? Why did she just get the fibroid cut out of her? Why did they have the hip replacement? Why can't the ankles move anymore? Why are the knees, why did the knee just rip out? Okay? Why do you have carpal tunnel syndrome? Okay? Do I need to keep going? Why do you have sinusitis? Why did you lose your hearing? Why do you have TMJ? Do I need to keep going? So that's why we offer a money-back guarantee, because we're going to put our money where our mouth is. And it's not because we're trying to get your business. We're trying to get your health.
And the beauty of this, again, is like with the PPTs that Darrell has. Imagine having your partner, your significant other, and you two working on each other. What a gift that is.
Yeah, Sage just went to India, just got back. He's going to Northern Carolina. And also, they're going to be heading to Vietnam. So we go all over the world, and we teach families and couples and caretakers how to look after people. So, you know, if you don't want to bring health home, then you're going to have to get sold off by the pound.
Right. And, you know, if you take a look, I'm not really into sports much, but, you know, some of these football players and the injuries that they have. And going to these specialized therapists, if they would just understand or hear about the deep tissue work, like that, healing.
Well, I'll close off with a little story. There's a professional football player, and he's in the position he plays, he's in the top 10. And they told him that it was going to take him maybe a year for his knee to get better. So anyways, he flew me in, and it took me probably about 35 minutes, and I worked on his knee. Okay, and he hasn't had any problem since, and we're going on the second year right now. And they told him it would take anywhere to 6 months to even 18 months. So, and that was his physio. So then when he got the work done, he went and told the sports medicine people on the team. This is a professional football team in the States. And he said, well, you just keep that to yourself. Don't bring that to the team. End of story. Okay. So do we still have a caller? Yeah. Okay. We have a caller. Hi, caller.
Hi, Dr. Wolfe.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
How am I?
Yeah.
Listen, I haven't been better because you know what? You're the youngest caller of today. How old are you?
I'm feeling awesome. You're feeling awesome, Eric? Hey, you want to tell Darrell how old you are? I'm 4.
You're 4. Wow. Hey, try to see if you can remember this phone call when you're older.
Yes.
Jot it
You want to
down.
remember?
And actually, you're never going to forget it because it's going to be up on YouTube, right? So now you can go back and you can listen to yourself and on this call. What do you think of that? What would you like to say, Eric? What would you like to say to all our listeners out there?
What do you want to tell everybody out there? What do you want to tell everybody out there? I don't know. Yes, what did you tell me? Remember? You said you want to go to Darrell when? And to go do what? I want to go up to Canada sometime.
Okay, well, guess what? I'm going to tell you something. If you come to Canada, I am going to take you to a kangaroo farm, and we are going to hold baby kangaroos, me and you can even feed them. How's that? And I mean little ones that are just born, okay? And then, where else? And then I'll take you up on the trestles where people used to take their horse and buggy and go way up to the top of the mountain, and then where the trains used to go through the mountain, they have these huge trestles that are like 200 feet in the air, and I'll take you there. How's that?
Good. That would be fun.
Okay, all right. Thanks for calling, Eric. You just have the best day of your life, and know that you have a really, really super mom, okay?
Yeah, you too.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Darrell. Thank you, Suzanne. You're awesome.
Okay, bye now.
All right. Bye. Bye.
There you go.
You're never too young. You're never too old.
You're never too young to start. And
no.
and guess what? You're never too old because guess what? We're not dogs and these ain't tricks.
No, but
That's right.
What a beautiful thing for Eric at age 4 to know this.
Yeah.
And a leader.
Yeah, that's right. A
That's
little brave heart.
Yep.
That's my Eric.
All right.
Well, he's not my Eric. Anyway, so oops. Okay. All right. So, anyways, we'd really like everybody to let other people know about the show. You can always go to Doc of Detox Library and check out the information there. I've got an audio on there that's it's called Cancer is an Emotion, Cancer is a Frequency. And this is a live recording of a lady who had thyroid cancer. And then I have another audio I did with an audience when I was doing a lecture. And then we have a whole bunch of booklets you can read on there if you want to maybe get one of your family members to put their toe in. And understand something. Not everybody's going to buy into this stuff, but think about it. Not everybody's going to buy into nature. Did you get that? Not everybody's going to buy into light. Did you get that? Not everybody's going to buy into high vibrational food and water. Did you get that? Okay, so that's how good a job that the medical system, the corporations, and your government does. Just listen to me tell you something, and I want to just say this because I love poking a little bit. I have never voted in my life, and I will never vote in my life. And people said to me, well, if you don't vote, you don't have a say. And I say to people, if you do vote, you don't have a say. Look who you've been voting in. And then I say, you know what? Don't complain about the people we vote in, because the people we vote in is just a reflection of the majority of the population. And if you think I want to jump into that mess, you're crazy. I want to put my energy into you. I don't want to put my energy into the government that are lying, conceiving, downright low vibrational. Are you kidding me? I'm not going to do that. And I'm not going to put my energy into any low vibrational things. And you know what? Guess what? It's okay. Whatever anybody wants to do, that's okay. But guess what? This is my castle, and I'm going to look after my castle. I'm going to respect, protect, and love myself, and I'm going to draw a loving line, and I'm not going to allow things into my life that don't vibrate at my level or even higher. And I'm not talking about I'm going to push away family if they're on drugs or alcohol. I love them, but I'm not going to let them, they can abuse themselves. And I will always be here to take action, but their abuse is not going to come on to me. And that's where I'm going to go, no, I love you, but no more. And that's it. So don't ever tell me that I need to watch the news to stay up on worldly things when it's all a lie, okay? Because the only thing that I know is in my heart and in my soul, and that you are amazing, you are beautiful, and this is where my energy is going to be, on this show and all the other shows I do. So if you want to check out the other shows at DocaDetoxShow.com, go there, spread the word. Just remember, we do call-ins. We didn't today because we had the lovely Suzanne Gray from Florida. And Suzanne, tell everybody where you live, because guess what? If you're in the neighborhood, drop in and she'll do a colonic on you and you'll have the biggest dump of your life. Okay?
I'm actually in the Tampa Bay area, in Luz, U.S. Highway 41, and we do a lot of things there. I'll be getting the amp coil. We've got the Biotron light. We do energy work. We have live blood cell. We've got all kinds of wonderful energy techniques and therapies for you. And the thing is that, you know, to have the course down in St. Petersburg, and we really couldn't have had a better venue. I mean,
oh my gosh, no.
They have, if you've ever heard of energy centers, vortexes.
Well, this is right on a vortex.
Two of them. There's two of them, and in the classroom that we're going to be in, there's actually a vortex in there. And
no. Okay, go ahead.
Just a lot of good energy.
Yeah, and you know what? And they're going. And the thing is, that if you want to come, it's like $85 for your own room, own bathroom. The hotel's been all redone. They have a beautiful pool. They're right near the beach. It's in St. Pete's, and you can look it up, the Crystal Bay Hotel.
Crystal Bay Hotel.
And for that $85, you get a beautiful breakfast. And then if you want to come, you just have to say that you're with us. It's $85. And for $35, you can have lunch and supper there. But you know what? We're just going to have a really great time getting to know each other and unleashing our authentic selves.
And I have to say about the meals is that they will actually cater to us. Gluten-free, sugar-free, organic, and the ambience about the whole place. I mean, they've had like Marilyn Monroe there, Al Capone there.
Yeah, they had Dean Martin there.
Yeah, all of these great people. And it's a beautiful, beautiful area. And I think...
And now they're going to have the biggest star of all, you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we will be shining bright.
That's right.
So we'll be twinkling away, having a wonderful time. And I also believe, too, you massage therapists out there, there are CEUs there for you. So.
And if you don't want to come to the whole thing, you might want to just check out the Whole Life Coach. Or you might want to check out part of it. You know, a lot of people believe they can't take 19 days. Well, I'll tell you something. It'll be the 19 days that changes the rest of your life. And the thing is if you're already in business or you want to get into business, we have what's called Business Builder, where we actually help you with your website. We set it up. You can put your own products on it, your own therapies that you haven't learned from us. And we will put that all on there for you. And you'll go on our practitioners map. We will having product trainings every week. And we're here to support you. Listen to me. You're going to be successful. You are successful. There's a genius in there. There's a hidden practitioner in there. Unleash that hidden practitioner and let's get trained so you can train others so they can train their families, and that's how we change the world.
That's right.
Thank you for joining me. Tomorrow I have Dr. Marlene Siegel on PetStar. Everybody loves that show. So find out how you're making your pets sick. Oops.
Uh-oh.
Okay. And we just want you to have the best night of your life. And don't hesitate to call my office at 855-900-4544. And if you'd like to get a half a month of my daily cleansing tea free, just call in, you pay the shipping, and I'll even throw in my book, Healthy to 100 too. And that'll get you started.
And if you want more information about myself in Florida, you can call 813-871-4644. 3200. You people have the best day ever. Love you all. And love ourselves.
And did anybody notice how she had to get the last word in? Bye.
Bye.
There you go.